William is thinking of a number, and they're calling that number n. And William wants his sister to guess that number. His first clue is that 5 less than 2 times. So this is 2 times a number, right? 2 times his number. Now, a lot of students will make a mistake and write this, 5 less than 2 times the number, because they see 5 first in the sentence. But that's not how you write 5 less than something. If you get $10 and then you realize you just spent 5, you have 5 less dollars, right? You wouldn't write that calculation like this in your calculator. It's got to be like this to make something 5 less than something else. So this is 5 less than 2 times a number. Okay, so his first clue is that 5 less than 2 times the number is at least -3 and at most 15. That means that this is at least -3. And I'll show you why that is. Look, the alligator mouth dictates whichever is bigger, right? The alligator is eating this 2n minus 5. That's because 2n minus 5 is at least as big as -3. It could be equal to -3, or it could be bigger, because that quantity is at least -3. And it's at most 15, so same logic there. 15 is bigger than or equal to this here. So that's the compound inequality that Newton's looking for. I just saw they wanted us to solve 2, so let's add 5 like we did in a previous video. Add 5 to everything. So we get 2 is less than or equal to 2n, which is less than or equal to 20. And then divide everything by 2, so you get 1 is less than or equal to n, which is less than or equal to 10 when you divide everything by 2. So as in interval notation, that's 1, 10, right? 1 is the smallest, 10 is the largest, and it's a bracket because it has the or equal to symbol. Okay, so we're supposed to find the maximum and the minimum inches for tortilla. So there's some extra information in here, 0.5 grams, that's great, $100,000. But if you read through this problem, they're just talking about the inches of the tortilla. They want to be within 0.05, well, the equipment tells us that the guaranteed thickness of a tortilla within 0.05 inches. That could be plus or minus. So the tortilla thickness, the ideal is 0.04. And if we measure out 0.04 in the scale, what it's saying is that you're plus or minus 0.005 inches. Okay. I think that's everything. So if you calculate that, 0.04 minus 0.005, that's 0.0395 inches. That's the minimum amount, and the 0.0405 is the maximum amount. I mean, I didn't use grams at all. I didn't use 100,000 because that's talking about weight, and it's talking about dollars. This question was just asking us about the thickness of the tortilla, so I'm pretty sure that's it. Let me see if I can plug that in and get the right answer here. 0.0395. What's that, the first one? Yeah, and then the second one. .005. Did I do that right? Oh, no. It's because I can't do math. If I actually whipped out my calculator here and did this the right way, 0.04 subtracted by 0.005, that should be 0.035. And then this should be here if I was to add that with a calculator. Oh, I switched to maximum and the minimum. Okay, so you want to take it a little slower than I did. I put the maximum was the smaller amount, and I put the minimum as the larger amount, so don't do what I did there. What they're doing with this explanation here is they made it into an absolute value inequality, which you could. So if you get this tortilla, we really don't know whether it's going to be 0.05 above or if we let x be the thickness, it's a variable. We don't know how thick it's going to be. If x is the thickness of the tortilla, let's see, make this absolute value. This would be Oh, the difference between the ideal thickness is less than or equal to 0.005 of an inch. Okay, so you take your tortilla. If you subtract it by what your target was, the 0.04 inches, well, that difference, whether it's positive or whether it's negative, is less than 0.005 because of the guarantee the machinery gives us. So if you wanted to set it up as an absolute value inequality, we could do it that way and then solve, but you'll get the same answer. Supposed to translate and then solve. So here's my... Oh, they want the solution. So this is the translation. -5 times b is no less than -35. So that's tricky. No less than means greater than or equal to. If you're not less than something, then you're at least equal to it or you're bigger than it, right? And so that's the inequality you got to solve. And so when you divide -5 from both sides, you've got to flip the inequality symbol because you're dividing by a negative. So this becomes less than or equal to. And to type that, I'm typing the less than key, then I'm typing equals directly after. And then -35 divided by -5 gives us +7. So that's our solution in inequality notation. To write that in interval notation, that says everything less than or equal to -7. So that means you can go as far back as -infinity. I don't know where my infinity is. And then it goes to, we got +7, right? And then it's a bracket because it's no less than, it means it's greater than or equal to. I just need the infinity symbol. I don't see it here. So let's click this button. Basic, there it is. -infinity to 7. I think you might be able to type the word infinity too. I might have forgotten about that. Okay, one more here. 5 less than m, that's 5 less than m right there, is at most 70. If you're at most 70, that means you've got to be less than 70 or exactly equal to 70. So if you add 5 to both sides, and then an interval notation, that's -infinity, comma 75, I think is what I got. Is at most 70, so that means the end point.